Hi folks, welcome back to Set Apart Homestead. This is Travis, and I have several things to talk about today, so I'm going to try to get through them all. They're all non-related, and hopefully I won't make too long of a video. First one is kind of a local announcement. There is a preparedness group meeting being held in my area in a couple of weeks, and I wanted to put that out there because I know several of the viewers of this channel do live somewhere in my area. It'll be in Gainesville, Missouri, which is at the intersections of Highway 160 and Highway 5, February 12th at 6:30 p.m. I am not hosting it. Another fellow is, but I do want to promote it. I'm hoping to be there. February 12th, 6:30 p.m. In Gainesville, Missouri. It'll be just off the southwest corner of the square. It's a place called the Meeting Place, and if you go to the square, it's a small little town. Go to the square, and it's off the southwest corner, about 3 or 4 doors down, and you'll find it there. There's of course no cost. So if you're in the south central Missouri Ozarks or north central Arkansas Ozarks, and you'd like to meet up with others, preparedness-minded people, show up. You know, no commitment needed or anything like that. If you don't like it, then you don't have to come back. But it is a guy that I know that is trying to get him started, to get us started around here with some, maybe eventually develop into mags or whatever. And so if you're in our area, please show up. Secondly, it's cold out. Although today the sun has been shining most of the day, so it actually feels pretty decent unless you stand out in the open wind. We've got a lot of hills and trees around here, so depending on where you are, which right now I'm on the downside of a hill with all these trees, so I'm not getting really any wind here. I chose this spot so that hopefully it won't mess up the audio too much. But it's going to get cold tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night, as most of the country is. And I'm not going to necessarily go over that because I'm sure you've all been watching the news and all the panic about the record lows and record low wind chills and stuff like that. Yeah, it's bad. People can actually die, and so can animals. But humans have been living out in the exposed to the elements for, well, since we were created. It really hasn't been other than the last 50, 60 years or so, that humans really became an indoor creature for the most part. We now live, most people live our lives in an environmentally controlled environment. I get it. There are many people out there that work outdoors, farmers, construction workers, and various other people. I'm not talking about you guys and gals, so don't get upset at me. But the majority of people do live and work indoors. Their jobs are inside, homes, vehicles. So other than a few minutes of going outside to get in their car or get in their house, they're pretty much in an environmentally controlled environment most of their lives. And like many other things, it has made us, I believe, a weak people, soft. You can handle the cold and the heat a lot more than you think you can. I've heard people say that is one of the things that scares them the most about going off grid or even just homesteading out in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere, is the possibility of not having air conditioning and not being as warm as you want it to be. Well, we have a wood stove, so we stay plenty warm in the house, but we have to go outside. Most people, I don't think, at least that I'm aware of and have known, don't even really have adequate, clothing for extreme weathers because we aren't exposed to it that much. You can adapt, okay? Just like you can adapt to living without air conditioning. It may stink for a while, literally and figuratively, that you're not having that cold, cool air blowing over you, but your body will adjust to it. And I get to the point now in the summer, if I go into town to a store and it has the air conditioning blowing, man, I hate it. It feels cold in there. Same way with outside. We don't keep our house extremely warm in the wintertime because, we're outside a lot. And if you keep it really hot inside, you get inside and after a while you're just burning up. So as a reminder for those of you, it just kind of popped in my head because we're experiencing, getting ready to experience, at least most of the country, some extremely cold Arctic air. And I'm not talking about going out in -60, but you can handle a lot more than you think you can, unless you're elderly or ill. You know, the human body is capable of handling extreme weather a lot more than what we think we can, because we've lived this soft, plush, easy life for so long, for at least, you know, 2 or 3 generations now. So you got to get out and get your body adjusted to it. You know, I'm out during the day all the time. I mean, you know, I may stay indoors a little bit more when it's really cold, but I got stuff to do outside. I got animals to take care of, things around the place to do. I can't just, you know, hang out inside in front of the stove all the time. I may want to at times, but for instance, just before I came outside to do this video, I was in the house and I started getting hot, kind of getting sweaty, and it's not that hot in there, but I'd been outside all morning, came inside, warmed up a little bit, and then started getting too warm. It's because your body adjusts to it, and it will happen. So if this is a move that you're planning on, or have already made this move of kind of living more off the land, off the grid, you know, whatever it is, when it comes to extreme weather, you'll make it, okay? It may take a while to adjust to it, but you can do it. Thirdly, I'm trying to run through these. I've been getting complaints that I ramble on too much. So, something I talked about last week, Venezuela. There's been a lot more happening about it. And again, I don't have any great insight into what's going on there, only what I'm reading in the news, and you can read the same stuff I'm reading. And it's building up. And if you want to know, most of my news sources, and I'll get some hate mail on this one, usually check Drudge, Fox News, here's the other one, CNN. Not because CNN is all great and, you know, their facts are always correct, but I want to see both sides, and then I'm able to kind of, you know, do my own research if possible and figure out, you know, what maybe the truth is, because, well, all news agencies, in my opinion, you know, present a slanted view of the news that, you know, benefits their bottom dollar. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff going on. The Pope has weighed in on it, fearing that the situation is going to be a bloodbath. The Venezuelan military, there's, you know, both parties are trying to, you know, get the military on their side, and there seems to be starting to be a split. I heard one top general has weighed in on, has pledged his allegiance to one side, I guess, you know, pledged his allegiance and somehow, whatever it was. But anyways, I'm losing my train of thought here. Russia supposedly already has some troops there. Yesterday or the day before, John Bolton was seen, you may have seen or heard this, was seen doing a press conference and had a little notepad, and on it, in his handwriting, it was written, you know, 5,000 troops to Colombia. I don't think that was an accident. I'm not a huge fan of the guy. I don't think he, you know, but come on, no one in those kind of positions makes that kind of a stupid mistake. You know, walking out with a big yellow notepad with it written on it, you know, so that the cameras can see. I believe that was done on purpose. I can't believe he'd be that dumb to do that accidentally. You know, it's coming down to two sides. That it's basically us and Russia, China, Syria, those guys. And I said before that Venezuela could actually be the battleground. I've honestly never thought that the battleground, the beginning of that fight between us and them, is going to necessarily be directly between us and them, or, you know, in places in the Middle East, because stuff goes on in the Middle East all the time. This could be the one. I don't know. But I'm telling you, a lot of things are building up. Venezuela, the northern coast, is only 1,300 miles from us. So, you know, if our adversaries wanted to put some military power in Venezuela, it wouldn't be very far from us. It's something we need to keep an eye on, because there's a lot of things going on, and like I said in the last video, the thing that surprises me the most, Trump is not typically been very hawkish. He's not typically the guy that wants to go out and beating the drums, the war drums. But a lot of the things he's saying sounds that way with this particular situation. So there's a lot of things going on, and I have no doubt that there's a lot of things going on in the background about it that we're not privy to know. And Venezuela has been a problem for a long time with Chavez in there, and now their economy is just in shambles. People are starving, people are dying, they're rioting and killing each other. It's really bad down there, and now it looks like it's going to get a lot worse, and it may be, who knows, a civil war with us on one side and Russia, China, Syria, and who knows, maybe North Korea on the other side. And it's close enough to us that I think that it could end up being a threat to us as a nation here in the home turf. So keep watch over that, and that just falls right in with what I had said back in December about the economy and how 2019 I think is going to be a really bad year. I just have a feeling. I'm not an expert. I'm not making predictions. I'm not a prophet. Nothing like that. I'm just going by, I'm a history nut, and I'm going by things in history, things that's happened and what's happening now, and it all starts pointing to the same direction, and it's not just me saying that. Our economy is on a downward spiral, not rapidly right now, but it is definitely headed that way. We just borrowed another $1 trillion. The things going on in the presidency, doesn't matter whether you're for him or against him, it's not looking good. His poll numbers are dropping, and everyone knows that when a president's poll numbers drop and they start getting unfavorable and it looks like they might not be able to pull off or win a re-election, war is a real quick way to get our poll numbers back up. So you got an economy that's going down, not just here but globally. A lot of civil unrest going on. America has turned their back to God and done it a long time ago, and man, it's getting worse with what was just passed in New York, and there's other states that are trying to do the same thing. I'm not trying to make any predictions. I'm just trying to wake up a few of you that might still be sleeping or just starting to wake up. You don't have much longer, I don't think, to get yourself prepared, to get your life, your soul prepared, okay? I'm not going to preach in this video, but get your soul prepared, get your home prepared, and I don't think you have very much time left. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I don't think anything bad's going to happen if I'm wrong and you got your soul and your family and your life prepared for nothing. Is that such a bad thing? You need to start doing it now. You can still, the economy's still good enough that you can still buy products pretty cheaply. So the things you need to buy, you can do. Things you need to set up, meeting with other people, critical, starting to develop your community right now, because it's going to be a lot harder to do once all this happens. And with a possible war, and a possible big war, potential conflict happening just south of us, it's putting it real close to us, right in our backyard, really, in a lot of ways. When it comes to modern military capability, 1,300 miles isn't anything, really. So, folks, you need to start waking up. I'm doing the same thing, reevaluating where I'm not prepared or as prepared as I need to be, and trying to get things going, because the handwriting's on the wall right now that things are starting to look bad in just about all areas. American politics, global politics, wars, rumors of wars, American economy, global economy, how America is becoming more and more radically liberal at a more rapid pace, and just flaunting it, turning their back against God. You know, it's happening. I spoke to someone the other day. I said, you know, for centuries, people have talked about, you know, the apocalypse happening, or Yah coming back for his children, or you know, some doomsday event. But they always say, well, it could happen, but most likely not in my lifetime. What's it going to be like to wake up one day and realize it is happening in my lifetime? It's happening right now. And when that happens, I don't want to be the person to say, man, I wish I had been a little bit more prepared. I wish I had done this. I wish I had, you know, bought the food and trained and met with people and got things ready so when this happens, it won't be quite as bad for me. It's happening. Will it happen right now? Will it happen in the immediate future? I don't know, but it will happen. So that's why we have to be prepared for it. All right. That's about all I have to say. Remember, Gainesville, February 12th, 6:30 p.m. If you want any more information, you can email me. My email's on the channel, and then I'll forward it to, or contact the guy that's actually hosting it. I didn't get permission from him to talk about him personally, so I'm not going to, or mention his name or anything. If he's watching, feel free to chime in the comments about it. But if you're in the South Central Missouri Ozarks and North Central Arkansas Ozarks, hope you can show up. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.